Imagine sitting in a quiet, safe room while feeling like you're standing in the middle of a hurricane. This was the daily reality for Elara, a talented mapmaker whose mind had become a constant, chaotic storm. Her anxiety came from being trapped in two different timelines at once. In the mornings, she agonized over maps she had finished in the past. In the evenings, she was gripped by the fear of making mistakes on future commissions. This relentless worry took a physical toll. Her hands, which once drew precise, winding coastlines, began to tremble. She could barely sleep, and the joy her craft once brought her had completely vanished. Desperate for relief, Elara sought out Serafina, a retired master navigator. Serafina had earned a reputation for guiding wooden ships through the world's most terrifying, monstrous storms by relying on a profound, unshakable inner calm. Finding that calm required Elara to leave the city and make a steep, wind-swept climb to a quiet, weathered lighthouse perched on the edge of a jagged cliff. When she reached the summit, Elara found the old woman sitting peacefully, her face turned toward the sea breeze. Elara spoke in a fragile voice, asking how she could finally quiet the tempest in her own heart. Elara's request highlights a universal struggle, the attempt to escape a mental prison where the walls are built entirely from one's own thoughts. Serafina agreed to help, but first she gave Elara a specific physical task to complete. Serafina poured a few drops of rare, glowing oil into an exceptionally shallow silver spoon, filling it to the very brim, where the liquid threatened to spill with the slightest breath. The stakes were absolute. Elara had to carry the spoon without losing a single drop. If she failed, the oil's unique light would go out forever. The route took Elara down an uneven, treacherous cliffside path, through the middle of a bustling shipyard at the bottom of the hill, and back up to the summit. This path would lead her away from the quiet of the lighthouse and directly into an environment of extreme sensory overload. The experiment was a test of cognitive limits. Could a mind maintain an intense internal focus when surrounded by total external chaos? In the shipyard, the environment became a cacophony. Massive oak beams were dropped with thunderous crashes, while sailors and merchants shouted loudly. The crashing ocean waves only added to the constant deafening noise. Stray dogs darted rapidly between Elara's legs, and wild seagulls swooped low overhead, crying out sharply as she walked. Elara didn't flinch. Eyes locked on the oil, she had tuned her breathing to the spoon. Anchored to her next step, the past disappeared, ignoring the rock she nearly tripped over. The future vanished too, forgetting the steep climb ahead. Elara had finally achieved complete present awareness. Every ounce of her consciousness was poured into the exact second she was living in. Exhausted but triumphant, Elara reached the top of the cliff and handed the perfectly full spoon back to Serafina. Serafina then asked her about the world she had just walked through. Did she see the magnificent new ship being launched? Did she hear the sailors singing their sea shanties? Elara realized she had seen and heard none of it. Her mind had been so focused on the oil that the shipyard's chaos never reached her. This illustrates the core mechanism of mindfulness. When we fill our cognitive bandwidth entirely with the present, the physics of our attention leaves no space for the ghosts of the past or the phantoms of the future. Elara's experience demonstrated that attention is a singular resource. By focusing entirely on the movement of the oil, she had inadvertently practiced the same deep concentration used by anyone who learns to quiet their mind through a single, steady point of focus. As the heavy weight of her anxiety began to lift, Elara realized that her peace wasn't something she had to find in the outside world. Tranquility exists within the present moment. We reach it by anchoring the mind to the now, leaving the regrets of yesterday and the fears of tomorrow with no place to take hold.